I would first like to apologise to Yvonne for what I've done, but... Oh, Jesus. Alright, here we go. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, what are we looking at? Hello, one and all. What is up? We're going to do something really different, and I'm going to be incredibly out of my depth here. But we carved this little teardrop Coober Pedy white opal a while back. It's got a bit of colour to it, not a hell of a lot, so it's a nice little multicoloured pin-fired piece. But today, it's less about the opal and more about what we're going to set it in. So there's another YouTuber that one of my subscribers, or one of you guys, recommended to me when it came to wire wrapping, and I've checked out one of the videos, and I'll pop up the shot of the YouTube now, and you can see there that there's one in particular that I'm looking at for teardrop pendants. So I don't have any fancy equipment. I've actually got nothing. So we're going with just standard needle nose pliers. This little opal here. And then I've gone to Bunnings and just got I think they're 2 mil thick wires for the main frame part of the pendant, and then a whole heap of this little, I actually don't know what gauge this is, but it's really thin wire. That's galvanized steel. This is just some sort of stainless steel kind of scenario. I got it from a $2 shop. Cheap as chips, as it's known here. So yeah, basically going to go through, follow this tutorial, and try to make something that looks half decent, but will most likely be a miserable attempt. So starting off with these thick ones, basically I've got 2 hand spans. It's probably, I don't know, a bit over a foot, 30 centimeters kind of thing. And because it's 2 hand spans, I can just bend it somewhere in the middle here. Should use the needle nose pliers at this point. And basically I just want to bend it in a way that kind of houses the opal. So we'll go a little bit more. Something like that. So it's going to sit in the middle. And then I've just got to be able to do that again, I guess. We'll just do it by hand, maybe. Might get the V a bit rounded actually, so I should probably use... How have I gone? I mean, it's not the worst thing ever. I think that looks alright. I wish I could get a little bit pointy, but that's not going to happen. So basically that's the start, and then we grab one of these. I'll grab this little one here. I've got the middle point of this thin wire. Thread it in here, and then I just want to do 5 wraps around in one direction. This stuff's already tangled, so this is a nightmare. Oh no! We're making a mess. Alright, so we'll go for 5 wraps around here. We should probably squidge them down as we're going along. None of this is any kind of fancy jewelry wire or anything like that, if that's what she used. I've already made a mess of this. And I basically just want to do 5 little winds. She made this look so much easier. I think mine's a little bit higher tensile than hers. Don't even know how many I've done. Let's zoom in here. So that's looking like a dog's breakfast. That's rough. That is very rough. I think what I can do here is maybe just tighten it up a little bit. I've kind of got it actually looping around the bottom, which isn't the worst thing ever actually. I know I'm aiming for 5, but we might actually have to modify this a little bit because it's looking pretty rough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so that is about 5 on that side. And then I want to do the same thing onto the other side. Get this nice and symmetrical, so we'll wrap it around. Oh, once. Twice. This is not going well at all. This is very much not going well at all. Oh, this is going to be a comical attempt. I can't wait to laugh at what I end up with after all of this. I'm sure it's easier with better quality stuff, but this is not working out too great for me. Let's see if I can just, I don't know, mash it. I don't know, that's not the most despicable thing I've ever seen in my life. I think one of these coils is trying to get a bit out of line. So I don't like how it's doing that. It's the tensile strength of this stuff is probably a little bit much for wire wrap jewellery. But you know what? We work with what we've got. And that is poor equipment and zero skill. That's how we start. Yeah, she could just pinch hers with her fingernails. I think my fingernails will snap off if I do too much. So let's have a good look at this. It's easy for me to look at it on camera than anything else. So it's gone really loose on this side. I'm going to have to try to fix that with the pliers somehow. But you know what? I think we've given that a good crack. That looks alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. So then the second part is to get this one involved. So this one's going to go on the outside. We're going to line them up like so. I think we want a little bit of space between them. And then we basically tie these two together as well. I might actually give this a little bit more of a wind so that it's going up a little bit higher. We'll do that. Alright, so we've given it a few more wraps. So it's gone around a few times now. So bringing back that second one, we are meant to basically just do 2 wraps around it. So around the 2 of them, just like that. 1 and 2. Make it nice and snug. It's moving around everywhere. I don't know how she does it, but she made it look really easy on camera. That's actually looking like it's starting to do the 3rd loop, so let's scrap that. Basically just using my nails to pinch it down. Let's try to get this second side going. One loop around. Try to pull it tight, but it's slippery as. Second wrap around. And pull it down as well. Alright, so we've got this for our little beginning. It's looking a little bit loose and lopsided. See if I can do this without pinching myself. So now I've got to go around and keep doing that all the way up these strands until I've got enough to get past this opal. And then it kind of loops up and over. Something like that. So I am going to cut back to future me, where I've got this somewhat adequately done. So check this out. I have managed to get the major weaving part done. So you can see here I've basically just done small winds on that inner coil, and then every 5 inner coils I've done 2 outer coils, just like in Yvonne's YouTube video. So I just repeated that. It took me forever. This wire is way higher tensile than the stuff she's using in her video, because my fingers are struggling to get this tight at all. And you can tell that I started off pretty rough, so it's a bit uneven, but towards the end I got into the groove of things, and look at that. It looks nice and tight and nice and neat. So basically from here, my general idea is that I look at it and I see that I've got enough out the top here that I can start to curl these around. So I've got to bend these over on both sides so that this part meets in the middle. I think I've actually done these 2 outer winds when I shouldn't have, so I might have to undo those 2. So basically I need something that'll make that nice outer curve, and to do that I've just got a metal pen. So I'm not entirely sure how well this will go. This stuff is high tensile garden wire basically. Yeah, so I've got to bend it far more than that. I reckon this is bending a little bit too narrowly. Is that bending too narrow? Yeah, I think I need something a little bit bigger than that pen. I don't know, I can try the outer edge of a torch, I guess. Though I feel like it's too big. Yeah, it is too big. Alright, we'll stick with the pen. We'll stick with the pen and we will work this out. Let's try to keep it even on both sides. Alright, this isn't working out well for me. Shove the pen in there and bend. Now I can't cut off these end bits because I actually need those for this next part. And I also need these to remain kind of flat. I mean, all in all, it doesn't look... Alright, it does look awful. It does look awful. And the next part of this pendant starts to get really wild. The weaving and stuff becomes kind of intense. So for that, I'm not going to record exactly how I do the top part. But Yvonne does have a hour-long tutorial on how to do this, which I'm going to sit in front of and follow. So if you are at all interested, definitely check that out. Her channel is actually pretty huge and she's really good at this stuff, like to the point that I can't believe what she's doing, and I need to hit the replay button about 400 times. But yeah, I need to even up this bend, and then I'm just going to follow through with her tutorial, and I'll show you what it looks like at certain stages as we go along. Dear Lord, I hope I don't get bullied for this, but I probably deserve it. I will reveal where I've gotten up to. Here we are. Oh god. I actually thought about starting it again and going from scratch because, I mean, this is a dog's breakfast. So, however Yvonne, or I think she prefers to be called Von, or at least her series is using that as her name, so I don't know how Von does it. She's obviously got the skills and the tools to be able to do it, but I have run with what I've got, which is neither of the above. And I am learning at least, so this looked really nice. I was quite proud of myself for getting this far. And then this started happening and I thought, oh, it's not going great. I've had to wind too much here and it was starting to get a little bit loose in areas and the overlapping started going a bit funny. And you can see that it's not very symmetrical. I've learned from that I should use like a pen or a rod, some sort of metal pole through the middle there to get a nice even bend. But I kept going, did this one and thought, yeah, it's not bad. I then did this small one and you can see here that we're starting to get a little bit wonky. So I like how it looks on this side, but this side it looks terrible because this is almost straight still. I didn't get enough of a bend in there to stick this out here so this could latch on without bending. Not bad, not bad. Got to here, it's starting to get a little bit rough, and if I really zoom in here, you can see the end of one wire there. You can see this is pretty rough up here. She has this nice little needle nose plier kind of thing that are just two metal rods that you can basically wind this up into like a small coil. But because I didn't have that, the best I could do was just bend it over. I clipped it. Yeah, tied it back onto the outer main frame. This is the back. So the back is even more embarrassing and I shouldn't even show it. But you can see here that, yeah, the back is not good. It's not good. And the unfortunate thing is that you might actually be able to see this a bit because the next stage is for me to bend this. I'm not going to use my finger because this is high tensile steel and it's going to crush it. But I'd basically bend this back and then use these two uprights to basically wrap around the body here and just tie it all in, and then you'll have a nice little hole going through here with this curved around. So yeah, that's that part, and then we've got to work out how to tie in our opal. Looking at my opal, it's pretty small, so it's actually going to not take up a lot of this space in here. I actually can't remember where I've put him, but I'll hunt him down and show you that once I start wrapping it in. But for now, I'm going to go through, I'm going to bend this back, finish up the outer edge of the pendant, and then we've just got to worry about setting the little guy. Her pendant piece, her stone, is actually much larger than mine, so I did try to make this smaller, but this is still huge, so it's going to have a huge top piece to this pendant, and incredibly ugly, and yeah. There's a first for everything, and this is looking rough, but let's see what it looks like finished. I'll be back to show you how it looks when it's set in place. I would first like to apologise to Yvonne for what I've done, but oh Jesus! All right, here we go. Oh Lord, this is it. I don't even know if I should release this video or not at this point. What have I done? So you can see here that everything is out of scale. It is absolutely whack. I don't even want to show what I've done at the back. I've had to freestyle, as you can see, I've had to freestyle this a little bit because I stuffed up a couple of the wires and the opal was too small to sit on what I'd had there originally, so I just kept adding to it until it worked. And I mean, it is locked in there. It is stuck, so that's a plus. But it's not pretty, and this wire's, it forms a memory pretty quickly, so you do a slight kink and you're not straightening that out again. So yep, that's it. That's the pendant. It's huge. This setting is way too large for the size of opal that I had, but I didn't really know that going into it. I just tried to guess. You can see here that you could literally hang this up on a on a bike chain and swing it around your neck. It weighs about 10 kilos approximately. And yeah, it is ugly as hell. Hers looked so good, and I knew that mine would come out terrible, but I didn't think it would. I don't know, I thought I'd at least get the scale correct, but I really didn't. I will show you the back. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, what are we looking at? So I haven't even finished this properly. I got sick of it and just basically wrapped it until the Opal held, and then pinched the two ends of the wire together and just twisted them up and then snipped it off. You can see there I've just got the snip. I can cut that a little bit closer to it, but I thought it looked funny like this. It's not like this is going to be worn, and I'll just cut all of this apart and start again later on in life when I can get over the trauma of this first attempt. Yvonne or Von has this part of the, I think this is called the bail, this part of the bail at the front. Mine is so ugly that I didn't think it should be able to see the light of day, as you can see. So I feel like it's much better to have that hidden where no one can really see it. You get a slight window into the back, so if you look through here you get a bit of the mess, a bit of the garbage. Yeah, all in all, this part went really well, and then the ending has just really shot me in the foot. I mean, it's not the highest quality Opal in the world, but even this Opal deserves better. Oh, it deserves so much better. Here I've just wound those things through. You can see the sharp ends. This is not something I would advise if you were doing this properly. At least file down the ends for sure, and also make them hidden so they're at the back. But yeah, and then this bend didn't work, and I've got pliers. I'm surprised that Von doesn't actually use pliers that are coated in like a rubber or some sort of material, but I guess she's just careful and doesn't scuff them as much as I did. But this stuff's so high tensile, I couldn't bend this by hand. So I got the pliers out, and you can see the kind of damage that I've done with the teeth of the pliers. So not ideal. I could see this being really fun for people that get good at it. It is actually a little bit relaxing and almost like meditative, because you're just repeating this. You're just doing like 5 loops, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2. Me, I am retarded, and somewhere along here I reckon there's a spot where there's just 4. I know there's a spot where there's just 4 somewhere, because I realised I miscounted. But I couldn't go back and redo it, because this wire, unlike the stuff that she was using, this will just snap if I bend it like more than once. It's really brittle, so not ideal. I'm sure with decent equipment and better wire and stuff, I could possibly do better, but just like Opal, you don't want to whip out a $500 piece of rough and destroy it. So you start out with your $10 rough and destroy it. And that's what I've done with this wire. Instead of starting out with some, I don't know, even copper's probably too expensive for me at this point in time. I mean, look at this mess. That's not copper worthy. So yeah, galvanized steel straight from the Bunnings or any hardware store, straight from their garden section. That's what I'm going to relegate myself to until I can do this in a way that actually looks half decent and presentable. Well, it was fun. I did have fun. I am keen on trying it again at a later stage, but I am going to need to take some time to recover from this experience, because I have not done this justice at all. You can see things are really sloppy. There's lots of gaps in places, lots of tooth marks, and then this disaster. This is a disaster. And then if that's a disaster, I don't even know what to call this. This is an absolute mess. I'm going to have to work out how to do this a little bit better. I just need to make sure the actual pendant's the right size, because this Opal's, if that was twice the size of the current one in there, I reckon it would have filled out nicely, and this crisscross wouldn't have had to happen. It would have just been 1, 2, 3, wrap it up, looks beautiful. But yeah, I panicked. I definitely panicked. But there you go. You've literally seen the first attempt at doing any kind of wire wrapping. Thank you to whoever it was that pointed me in the direction of Yvonne. I'll make sure that there's links to her channel in the description. So you guys can actually I would rather you didn't go and look at hers because it looks night and day to this. I would rather people just thought, oh, he's given it a good try. It looks alright. Well, it doesn't. But I wouldn't mind if people said that in the comments. So, yeah, I don't know. This takes skills. She makes it look easy. And I show you how it really is. It's a nightmare. It was so hard. And also, she did her entire tutorial where she's talking through it step by step, and she finished hers in an hour. This took me a day. Not even kidding. At least a day. I was watching the footy. I was doing all sorts. Maybe that's why it didn't work out so well. Maybe I was too distracted. But, you know, there it is. Attempt number 1 in its full glory. Absolutely beautiful piece. I will see you in the next one where I'll stick to something I know how to do and I will carve something. In fact, it'll probably be Ethiopian opal, so I don't actually know what I'm doing in that case. I'm just going to carve it and hope for the best. Catch you in the next one.